were there after the firemen. They left the artwork hanging, and now we're going in and we're trying to restore everything.
Yes.
We've been hired to do that.
Restore the building, the living space.
You've been hired to do
Yes,
this.
right,
exactly. I see. Well, I mean, my advice would be contact a conservator and have them work in the team. Have a conservator work in the team. I mean, for example, the very important conservation is not just treatment procedure. It's also preventive conservation. It's also atmospheric conservation. It's also a whole series of surveys that are undertaken. Because in theory, the procedure is the last thing you should attempt to do. We all have to remember that 90% of the work we do today is resolving problems provoked by conservators in the past.
Right.
And even though we are sure that what we're doing is correct, I am certain, and I'm sure Diana would agree with me, that in 100 years' time, they'll all be saying, what were those conservators in the year 2000 thinking about?
Yeah, we're going into structures that are unsafe sometimes, and we've got to remove contents, including artwork. So the question is, how do we do that safely?
Well, you do have some companies that are specialized in moving artwork safely.
Transport.
Not as easily in the U.S.
Well, then you have conservators that know how to do that and can tell the transporters how to do that.
So your suggestion is we don't touch it?
My suggestion is that you get advice from a conservator.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get advice from a conservator, and the conservator should really do a survey to begin with. So condition reports of all the objects, where they're hanging from, a total survey, and then indications of how to handle that object. Because sometimes it's better to put bubble wrap in an object. Sometimes it's better not to.
Got it.
You know. Sometimes it's better to put it in a box. Sometimes it's better not to. So every object has to be analyzed and thought and understood. You then have very simple things like, does the object come out of the door? Because sometimes you make a wonderful big box and then get to the door and it doesn't fit through the door. So all these
Take out the door.
That's easy for these guys.
things, and you haven't calculated the door size, so you're stuck inside. Right. Okay. Now, when you can throw down a wall, that's great. But if you're inside a Renaissance chapel, you can't throw the wall down. You know, you have a problem. So these are things that you know, conservators. I mean, you can't envisage and foresee every single thing, but conservators know that there's, you know, they take into account not only the packaging, but everything required in moving the object from what we call in Italian nail to nail. So from that wall to that wall, you know, all the things that can happen in between. So, I mean, my advice is get a conservator, make a survey, do a condition report and a survey for all the objects before anyone touches them, because then you always have issues of, so there's a hole in the painting. When did that happen? No, it was there before. Was it there before? Was it not there before? You know, you then have issues like that.
So a great comparison for our industry is on a mold job, we hire an IEP, we find someone that we rely on an ongoing basis, and they come in and do the evaluation and make specific recommendations and create a scope, relieves us of the liability. It's now under their care, and we're just in there to help them take care of whatever it is to assist them when they need it.
There's the definition of the specialized expert.
Absolutely. Very good.